Whew, honey, more coffee. Oh, boy, man.
Oh,
So tired this morning, but we're going to make it anyway on a Monday. Brand new week, brand new day. NCAA tournament talk. Oh, these late games, Barry, they're killing me. Just killing me.
what you don't see off camera is John's wife going, you tell him bring you more coffee. John acting like he's king of the castle or something. Honey, more coffee.
Let me tell you, first break, I'm going downstairs to get it myself.
Yeah, that's how it's going to happen over there. Who you kidding out there? He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. The complaint already about, can you believe whatever it was, that 9:15 tip-off time? Try driving back from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and having to and listening to games on the March Madness Live app and trying to piece together everything that happened in the NCAA tournament. One of the coaches, and I can't remember who it was afterwards, I think it was Mark Few from Gonzaga, who ended up, they lost to Texas on Saturday. Very disappointing. They were in it until the very end. Then Texas had a couple of buckets late to win by 6. And he says, out of all of the things that we complain about the very broken, very bad state of college athletics right now, and how much we gripe about the NCAA, please don't ever change the tournament. The tournament is the one thing they get right. Don't add more. Don't screw around with any of it. The NCAA tournament is the way to go. And I mean, I spent time in it last week and got to be right in the middle of all of it up in Oklahoma City. And I don't know how they do it, John, but every year there's always either about 6 or 7 or 8 teams that have no business winning an NCAA tournament game that do, or 5 or 6 teams that you've never heard of, and you're looking at the scores because you didn't think it was worthy of watching and thinking, how in the world did Utah State keep it within the number against Arizona?
Yeah.
Or what the heck is the story? High Point and Arizona was a nail biter. The tournament is the stuff, man. Love the tournament.
Well, I probably watch more basketball during the tournament of other teams. What I mean by that,
not the SEC
teams that aren't Auburn or Alabama. I'll watch more of those games, obviously, during the regular season, and SEC teams. But
yeah,
I'll catch myself watching some games, some teams I'm not very familiar with. But I got to agree with what that coach at Mark Few had to say.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take it even further, Barry. When we finally wake up and do that with football and let more people enjoy the riches of tournament action, one shining moment on the gridiron, and let more programs and conferences still be involved late in the year.
Yeah,
I think it's great. Now, when are the football people going to wake up and do it?
All right, are you done? Because none of that stuff he meant. All right, I was just going to wait and let him kind of talk himself out and lose steam on that. He don't mean a bit of it. It's and another great quote came from Miami of Ohio coach Travis Steele. And they went 31-0, lost in their conference tournament. Oh, should they get in? I don't think they should. Auburn should get in or whatever.
Yeah.
And he said, and somebody asked him about, well, what do you think about expanding the NCAA tournament? And he said, are you kidding me? He said, if they expand the NCAA tournament, they're not going to expand it to get Miami of Ohio in. Let's be real here. He says that ain't why they're going to expand the tournament. Is for the Miami of Ohio's and the Seattles that's what John's talking about. Wouldn't it be great to have more team in the college football playoff? Let more people. He ain't talking about James Madison. You can bank on that. He ain't talking about, who was the other? I've already even forgotten.
You've already forgotten.
The entire Expanding the NCAA tournament, what John's talking about? No, he's talking about expanding it to whatever he wants it. I think 16.
Yeah.
And
that's my number. 16's my number.
For the moment.
Nah, I'm not going past that. This 24 is crazy.
He tells us that he is not
sincere. Well-rounded number. Everything kind of balances out. And yeah, okay, we might have a couple of years where we got some teams that shouldn't belong. What did Spalding say? They're not members, Grandma. We'll weed those out as the years roll on. But I got to tell you, I wasn't expecting what I saw last night out of Alabama, particularly after I heard the three so-called experts on the panel all picked Texas Tech to win the game, including Charles Barkley. And I'm like, wow, man, that's a trifecta. Clean sweep. All of them like Texas Tech here. But as they said at halftime, I mean, it was just the defense, which you don't hear a lot about. Offensive rebounding. Now, obviously, they were hot as a blowed coal shooting the ball last night. But one thing they picked up on, and I watched it because they talked about it over and over. Texas Tech just stands around. Alabama's moving. All five of the players are moving around. Texas Tech standing there while one guy dribbles.
I would not have picked Texas Tech. The Texas Tech had one of the top 5 players in the country. I mean, he's up there, Naismith Award finalist list, and they weren't playing with him. They've missed him for about a month. And I would have picked Alabama just because of that. Alabama would have won that game last night. The guy's name is Obi Toppin. Yep. Alabama would have won that game without Obi Toppin. I'm listening to that game last night as I'm driving through the wilds of southwestern Alabama.
Ooh, wow. Now, you could pick up a station? Wow.
No. Hey, March Madness Live app is the way to go.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But there was a stretch. I think it was one trip, maybe two, where Alabama, this is early in the first half, where Alabama got like 8 offensive rebounds and only got 1 point out of it. They kept shooting it, missing it, getting the rebound, shooting it, missing it, getting the rebound, blah, blah, blah. And the announcers were Westwood One announcers, they were impartial. And they were saying, Alabama is missing a golden opportunity. They're dominating the glass, but they're not getting anything out of it. And I'm saying, yeah, but it's like Denzel Washington said, and remember the Titans, it's like Novocaine. You keep rebounding like that, and you're going to be fine. Where did that come from? That was, out of all of the wins yesterday, Michigan looked terrific against St. Louis, and Alabama plays Michigan next. Duke, big. I thought Houston was very impressive. They absolutely whipped Texas A&M. But Alabama's was the most impressive win of the Sunday games, without a doubt. And there were some good ones. There were some really good ones. But the big Iowa State beat the crud out of Kentucky, which I'm never against. But the one that was kind of the statement game last night, without Aiden Holloway and all of that, was Alabama. They play like that, John, and they're going to be there at the end.
I don't think so. More on that later. But what? Yeah, you're right. Aiden Holloway is not missed. That's one of the first things I thought of last night. They sure don't miss Aiden Holloway here. And it's interesting how other players have kind of stepped up and filled the gaps for Alabama. I mean, you can just go across the bench there and go, wait a minute, I don't remember seeing that guy play that well in the regular season. And man, where'd this guy come from? And that guy's really turning his game up.
Right.
It was definitely a team effort. Weitzel had a heck of a game.
He was 6 of 9 from 3. Yeah.
But I just thought, everybody that came off the bench, everybody that played, I thought they all played well. Even the transfer from Bucknell, who I've been on his case all year.
Noah Williamson.
He doesn't look to be the most coordinated guy out there, but hey, he hit some threes. He camped out that corner last night, hit a couple of threes over there.
That's when you knew it was their day. But to me, that was the most impressive win. Iowa played really well. The Gators are knocked out. There'll be a new champion this year. But that game was a rebounding game. Alabama out-rebounded them by something like 16 and 18 in the first half, something like that. And we're talking about Alabama, who, stuff in the paint, offense, defense, rebounding, doesn't seem to matter much to them. Against a Texas Tech team that was pretty physical, if Alabama rebounds like that, again, I don't know what Mr. Wet Blanket over there has got to say about it, but I think they will be there. I'm not saying they will rebound like that every game. I've not seen them rebound like that all year. But if they do that, they've got a chance against Michigan, who is all that.
Yeah.
And then after that, they got as good a chance as anybody out there.
I don't know if Alabama has been a 10.5-point underdog to anybody this season.
Yeah.
They are Friday night
to
this Michigan team. And then again, I don't want to throw cold water on the Bama Nation here early on a Monday morning. Let's just let them revel in the big victory last night. It was fun. It was exciting. It was great exposure, even though it didn't finish till 11 p.m. Think of it this way. On the West Coast, it finished at 9 p.m. So a lot of people out on the West Coast got to see Alabama in a very impressive fashion last night. So at least they had that going for them.
Well,
but I think Michigan's a totally different animal. There again, we'll get to that later on as the show and week progress, but certainly don't want to take anything away from last night. Another great coaching job by Nate Oates. The thing, though, that impressed me so much, Barry, is just how many different people contributed. I think this whole and Feilein didn't have a great game.
He did not. Yeah.
That's your ace player there. They're always talking about Feilein, but the other guys took up the slack. And I just thought these guys that came off the bench, or even the ones that started, that don't get the attention, played extremely well and took up the slack. And I thought it was a total team effort.
I'm not going to poo-poo on John's upcoming negativity. Yeah, it was a great win, but then because I don't think they beat Michigan Friday either. Full disclosure on that, Michigan is strong as new rope, but I do think that even if Alabama doesn't beat Michigan, it's not one of those. Does anybody even remember that they made the Sweet 16? Does anybody really care? I mean, they ended up losing at the end. And, I know we'll hear this. Look, the football team makes the final 12. The basketball team makes the final 16. Big deal. Who cares? Does anybody remember who beat them or who,
I'll say this. I hope Nate Oates doesn't get beat by 35 Friday night, like the football team did in the playoff. Let's just try to keep it within 35 if you can.
So I
Not
can't
saying
be
they're
really
going to lose, but
I
hear what you're saying there.
Yeah.
But Alabama, hard to believe, and people kind of maybe overlook this a little bit. But Alabama, this will be the fourth straight Sweet 16 that they've made. They've been in the last four Sweet 16s. Yeah.
Well, why didn't I get that one? Why am I not in that text?
Well, it was on Tighter Insider last night.
There you go. Okay, there you go.
Bama, Houston, and Tennessee. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That all three of those schools have made the Final Four the last 4 years. UConn, Duke, Florida, and Arizona.
Well,
those teams,
looking at the bracket, you can amend, who you want. You're in the Sweet 16 now. I'm kind of rooting for Nebraska because I got to call that game, and they're exciting. They beat Vanderbilt. I think now that you can amend everything, I think it'll be Houston and Michigan. Arizona is really good. And out of that other bracket, I got to go Duke. They play St. John's next. So, again, here you go. You're looking at it. Duke and Arizona, Houston, who's been there, like John said, several times now, and Michigan. This isn't going to be the year. Mark it down where you're going to have somebody muddle it up at the very end, like a George Mason or a Florida Atlantic or a San Diego State. Oh, the horror.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a couple of them aren't necessarily blue bloods, but everybody who I'm picking now to make it into the Final Four has been a Final Four participant multiple times already. So when you picked your Final Four for our Marker Each contest, give yourself, account for a couple of upsets in there. Yeah. But at the very end, 99 times out of 100 or 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the same usual suspects.
Yeah, the group that picked Florida in their Final Four, they're on shaky ground at the moment. Not out, but they're on some shaky ground, to say the least. So Florida certainly, what a shot there by Iowa. Man, dagger in the corner.
Yeah, that's what I was listening to that game. I was listening to that game hard. I went to school at Florida. And, the guy who was doing the play-by-play, he didn't do a really good job of describing what was going on because Florida was up 2 with 8 seconds to go. And I'm with Tobias because I'm listening to it thinking, what are you doing? What just happened? If that just happened, there's no way. He said, what was Florida doing at the end of the game? Gave Iowa an open 3 and didn't get a shot off at the end of the game. Yeah, that's what that guy was saying, the play-by-play guy. Iowa hurries into the front court and opens a wide open 3-pointer on the baseline. And I'm thinking, why in the heck is that wide open?
Well, it all started with a great inbound play.
I didn't see
the
that.
The player that caught the ball was moving. I'm talking about in a full sprint and caught the ball in a full sprint, dribbled. Florida's kind of off balance there. They're going, uh-oh, what are we doing here?
Right.
And then, boom, he kind of acts like he's going to take it down the middle of the floor. And he kicks it out to the player standing right there in the corner, hits the 3, lets the crowd know it. And I don't know what Florida was thinking about on their next possession to win the game. 4.5 seconds, kid dribbles the length of the floor, gets under the bucket, and goes, uh-oh, tries to pass it to somebody. Gets deflected, horn goes off, game over.
Something to be said for panicking in the big moment. I'm with you there. We love the tournament, and it's been a good tournament so far. Who has impressed you the most? I don't say Alabama has impressed me the most, but they had the most impressive performance of the second round, if you're asking me. Again, Alabama was really good. Arizona was really good. Michigan was really good. Duke was really good. The same people that you would normally expect.
I don't know if you got I know you said you listened to the game. I got some feedback about the commentators for the game on, was it TBS or TNT they were on last night? I get them confused.
Same thing. Yeah, big deal.
They were average to me. I mean, they weren't bowling me over, but they got a lot of feedback. Or, man, these guys are terrible. These announcers. I don't know. I said that on the SEC network during the regular season. I thought that they had kind of lowered their standards a little bit, but did get some feedback on that. Maybe you have some on our River Region Straw chat line. We'd love to hear from you because it is rolling this morning. A lot of folks with some comments. Dennis Mitchell early today, Barry asked, wanted to make sure you filled me in on a question he texted you, I guess.
He texted me early this morning. Hint.
Yeah.
We'll get to that and a lot more. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry is Central Alabama's best-known jewelry store. Their location at 8163 Vaughn Road in Peppertree is conveniently located adjacent to Chappie's Deli. At Marguerite's, they have every jewelry item imaginable because they make it. They really make it. From rings, necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and much, much more. Marguerite's can also repair, clean, and rework any jewelry item that you want to bring back to life. Whether you're on a budget or have no budget at all, Marguerite's has all types of jewelry for everyone. Go by and see them today or call 270-0074.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Get Truck Month deals on more than trucks at Stivers Ford of Montgomery. Explorers for 13 grand off. Broncos 12 grand off. Expeditions 10 grand off. And Bronco Sports 9 grand off.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Ford Truck Month is bigger and better at Stivers Ford of Montgomery. Take advantage of 0% APR on Super Duties, Lightnings, and F-150s. F-150s, 18 grand off. Super Duties, 2 grand under invoice. And Lightning, 16 grand off.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
All right, about 20 minutes past the hour here on a Monday. Glad you're with us here, Longshore McKnight. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends, tell them all about us, and we really would appreciate that. But hitting that like and subscribe button, very important. Really appreciate it. And, of course, you can check us out at Yellowhammer News and yellowhammernews.com on their Facebook page. A lot of people, and I mean a lot of people are doing that. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, Spotify, Apple Tunes. It's all there for you to view and or listen with Longshore McKnight. We do it live every weekday morning from 7 to 9, but as we have found out, the vast majority of you watch and listen on your schedule, and that's what that format, this is what this format is all about. So we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
As we get into the basketball discussion even more, there is an opportunity for you.
Okay.
You, the listening audience. The last time the finale, the coup de grace for basketball at Neville Arena is day after tomorrow. Whatever happens on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, win against Nevada, lose against Nevada, or whatever. That's it for basketball at Neville Arena this year.
Oh.
In the Sweet 16, in the round of 8.
Yeah.
In the Great 8 of the NIT.
I don't know if you have it there in front of you. Can you tell me who the 8 remaining teams are in the NIT? Because the opposition that Auburn has faced so far has been, obviously it hasn't impressed the Auburn family because they haven't showed up to see them play. There might have been more Bama fans in Tampa last night than there were at Neville Arena yesterday.
It is Wichita State.
The
Tulsa,
Golden Hurricane?
Yeah. Tulsa.
Yeah. Now they're the Golden Hurricane.
St. Joseph's. Wichita State's the Shockers.
Shockers, yeah.
St. Joseph's, those are the Hawks. The New Mexico Lobos.
Weren't they pretty good at one time? Wasn't New Mexico a pretty good team?
They're in the postseason, John. What do you mean? Nevada, Auburn, Illinois State, and Dayton in the NIT men's tournament quarterfinals. Those are the 8.
Can I get some odds on who will win the NIT? Because I really like Auburn's chances.
Yeah, they're the number 1 seed for what it's worth.
Not to say that this field is weak, but it is.
But they're still playing anyway.
They're still playing. Yeah, they are.
Auburn played last night, Sunday night. Why Sunday night? I don't know. But they beat Seattle University.
Yeah.
By 6, 91-85. Seattle covered the 14.5. And now Auburn moves on. And again, they're the number 1 seed in the NIT.
Yeah.
They played 2 games at home.
Their
next game is at home. And then after that, they move on to wherever it is, Indianapolis.
Do they raise a banner number 1 seed in 2026 NIT tournament? Well,
No. I know the questions. Viewers, listeners, can we just act like he's already brought up the snarky stuff that he always brings up anytime Auburn has success? Do they put a banner up? Did they roll too much?
Did they roll? Yeah.
Night? Yeah. Just pretend like he's already asked that so we can move on. What if they do win it? What if they do win the NIT? Is that a thing? Does it mean anything? Does it say, Jason Caldwell, who I love, he says, they're getting valuable practice time and everything, and they are. But are those guys who are getting valuable practice time right now, are they even going to be here next year?
Well, that's what I think. Yeah, those guys all going to be wearing orange and blue next year for Auburn. I wouldn't bet on it.
Does an NIT championship, if they raise the banner, does that validate all of the angst and frustration about the season right now? Say, hey, we won a championship. We won the NIT.
Yeah.
Because for some people, Bammers, when you have success in a particular sport, they will laugh at you because it's not football. Oh, look at the Aubs. Too bad they don't have, an NCAA equestrian championship. Look at the Aubs. Look at them being all good at equestrian. All good at men's golf or whatever like that.
That's right.
It's like those fans who make fun of people. You like basketball?
I don't know about the Alabama rowing team, if they won any championships. Don't know.
But that's
getting it going over there at the Black Warrior River.
But that's my issue because, even in John's perspective of everything, it wasn't diddly squat watching that game last night.
Well, I wonder why they had their games on ESPN2, the NCAA tournament's going on. I'm thinking, how many people are watching this game? And
even, you know them, you know a lot of them. They don't want to let the world know that you know them, but some dyed-in-the-wool, bada-getta, Auburn fans who love them some basketball. You see them all the time when you're picking out the crowd on TV.
Right. Saw my friend last night. Yeah, he was there. Saw him.
Those guys, even those people, they're watching Alabama, Texas Tech on TV rather than trucking their behinds down I-85 to go watch Auburn men's basketball against Seattle in the NIT.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you who won the NIT last year. Couldn't tell you. Neither could the rest of the world for that matter.
I love it. There you go. There you go.
Except maybe for the family of the players on the team that did win it. The odd thing, Barry, last night I did notice, I caught the end of the Auburn game. I was channel surfing and, I went, oh, look, hey, wow, look, it's the Auburn game. Let's check it out. A couple of minutes, wanted to see what the crowd looked like, could figure that out real quick. But then I'm watching the Bama game much later on. And the game's, going on. This might have been in the second half. I'm not sure if it was in the first or the second. But they show some crowd shots, and they show these two kids. They look like twins in the stands. They're looking at their phone. They're not even paying attention to the game with some type of Auburn jersey on. I sent the clip to Gurn Jr. I don't know if he can get it up on the screen for us. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. These aren't even authentic Auburn jerseys, but they do say Auburn on them. They got the Auburn logo on the patch there. And I'm thinking, what are they doing there? And allegedly the kids have been like to every game and maybe just they're Auburn fans that live in Tampa, but the cameraman found them and they got a lot of run.
I suppose that was the point.
Probably check that out on Tighter Inside. There they are. Yeah. See these two kids. I guess that's their dad, who's the Laker fan. Is that kind of a Denver Nugget kind of takeoff on an Auburn jersey?
I've never seen that before in my life.
But that was in Tampa last night.
Look at all the empty seats.
Yeah.
I got no idea about that.
But as you can imagine, Barry, when they flashed those two guys on the screen, my phone was blowing up. I went, whoa, I got to put it on silent now. Wife's going, what's going on? Well, who's dinging you at this hour? Oh,
that's not even an Auburn jersey. That's just a jersey that has Auburn on it. Those guys got some. Do they still make those little iron-on things that we used to see? Where you can put the names on it or something like that. Anyway, that was compelling basketball last night. Cannot wait for more as we get into the Sweet 16. And let me tell you, if John can't tell you who was even in the Final Four last year, they've still got to do a little bit of work to really get a tip of the cap this year. Sweet 16?
Sweet 16.
Bama, I do not think, and again, all credit, like I said, I'll say it again, I thought Alabama was the most impressive team I saw on Sunday.
Are you surprised, Barry, that none of these guys have brought up Charles Bediako through 2 Alabama games? They brought it up one time last night talking about these other guys that have filled in, doing well, and they sure are missing him. And when they said it, I kind of went, that's the first Bediako reference I've heard in the 2 games Bama's played in.
Well, that whole thing was a colossal waste of time. I mean, they're better without him. They're not as good at the rim defensively, but they're not bad. I mean, they needed Bediako like they needed a hole in the head. If I'm Nate and I had to do it all over again, other than just, helping the kid, giving him a chance, throwing him, a little bit of faith, love, and charity or whatever that was all about. Jeez. I just wouldn't even mess with it because I thought it was a distraction to the team. Turns out that they didn't need him that much. I mean, you could always use a 6'11" guy, just if nothing else to practice with or whatever. But that entire thing was totally not worth it. I wouldn't bring up Bediako either because that was just a big bunch of nothing. They didn't need him.
Yeah.
If he had the chance to do it over again, he probably wouldn't do it.
And how it played out and the criticism that they received, I thought we would have heard more about that. But there again, I think there's been some guys that have stepped up.
No doubt.
Bowen,
their credit.
It played well. I kind of been on Noah Williamson's case this year, but he stepped up, played really well last night, did well rebounding as well.
When it's your day. What were they? They led by 34 with about 5 minutes to go.
Yeah.
It's your day. They hit, what did they end up hitting? They hit 19 3-pointers. It's your day when the 7-foot transfer kid from wherever it is, Latvia, wherever Noah Williamson is from, guy's 7 feet, he hits 2 3-pointers.
Yeah.
He's 2 for 2 from 3-point range, which he's probably never done in his life. When he hits that first, Nate's probably smiling. When he hits that second, Nate's probably, calling his man and saying, "Hey, I'm on a heater right here. What do we got in the NBA that you can get me down on?" And John's right. Filan was 2 for 12.
Yeah,
he hit 9 points. But Reitzel hit 6 3-pointers. Houston Mallett hit 5. And Cheryl was great. Cheryl had 15 rebounds the other day. Not yesterday, but before.
I was amazed. I'm sitting there looking at it going, your best player's not having a great night. And the other 4 in the rotation off the bench really picked up the slack. I mean, that was impressive. 4th straight final, a Sweet 16 for Nate Oates.
Yeah.
There again, I got to ask the questions. Is somebody going to make a serious run for Nate Oates? I mean, you got to know what's coming.
Are you doing this right now?
You think they're happy in Lexington?
After their most impressive win of the season.
Yeah.
And I know some of you are saying, hey, we beat Auburn. That's all. The most impressive win of the season already. In the first half hour of the program, I don't think they're going to beat Michigan. And obviously somebody's going to make a run at NATO.
And maybe that quiets it down if Michigan, beats them by 20. Then the Nate Oates, his star will dim a little bit. But there again, 4 straight Sweet 16s. That's pretty impressive. And you got to think Greg Byrne, he better be. He was there last night. Saw him at the game. Wasn't at the game, but I saw he was at the game. He better be thinking today, man, I got a hot coach. I got to make sure I got this guy locked down. I don't want anybody running in here. Kentucky's not happy. They're furious. Sure, there's some others out there that would like to take a look at him. I mean, the guy can produce. Sweet 16s, been to the Final Four, plays an exciting brand of basketball. Look, I've never watched more basketball, even with Wimp and all those other guys, than I have with Nate Oates being at Alabama. It's fun to watch.
How many times on the radio show all those years, especially with, I don't know, for some reason it was always Anthony Grant. John would say, Their offensive philosophy is just dribble around until the shot clock is at 3
right.
and then jack something up.
That's exactly right.
And, he was defensive oriented, It's fun to watch.
It is fun to watch.
It's easier to recruit to. I can promise you that. But if I'm going to play along with John's premise, Mr. Wet Blanket over there, they may not win the next game and they may lose their coach. I'll play along for just a little bit.
Do you think North Carolina would be interested in Nate Oates?
That's what I was going to bring up. North Carolina probably going to make a change. Kentucky, they are on the short rope with Mark Pope. Kansas, Bill Self is acting like he's having, continuing health problems, and which is true. I'm not saying he's acting like it, but he is acting like those continuing health problems might force his retirement at Kansas. There's going to be some churn, some turnover amongst some of the big boys out there. And especially, I don't know why, but if there's a Kansas opening, that feels like a Nate Oates thing right there.
There again, I hate to rain on the parade. I just had to bring it up. I mean, the chat line has hit just a screeching halt. Wait a minute. What did you just say? Look, I'm not trying to, lose the moment here. Greggy, is it always this soft? I mean, I get it. But you got to bring these things up because he's hot. 4th straight Sweet 16. Exciting brand of basketball. Look, it's a guy that enjoys watching their style of play. I'd hate to see him go, but they're gonna have to probably sweeten the pot a little bit. I would think because Kansas, North Carolina, Kentucky, those some big dogs right there.
There was another one. This one. Kelvin Sampson's at Houston. He's in his 70s now.
Yeah.
After the game, they beat the snot out of Texas A&M. After that game, they kept showing Kelvin Sampson, after the game, holding his grandkids, and they're hugging his neck. And I'm thinking, he ain't going to be there much longer. But there's going to be some stuff going on after this tournament is over with some really big programs.
Speaking of things going on, is Dennis telling me something that I don't know?
Yeah, that was let me do this. Let me get Dennis before we go to break, and we're late for a break again. Dennis texted me at 6:37 this morning.
Okay.
He didn't text me about this.
Yeah, but something else he wanted you to tell me, I saw.
Well, he texted me about Scott Sanderson. He should get a look at Troy's new coach, and I've got something to say about that.
Is Troy needing a new coach?
Yeah, Troy is Scott Cross is now at Georgia Tech.
How did I miss that? When did that happen?
The day after the we talked about it Friday.
Yeah, I remember we talked about it Friday.
You asked me about that, and then Friday afternoon. I mean, it came down. He's already at Georgia Tech. They've already taken the promotional pictures. There's a introductory press conference. There's an introductory press conference this morning, Monday morning at 10 o'clock in Atlanta, and all that. We'll talk about that.
Get off AL.com because I didn't see a thing on it there over the weekend.
AL.com.
Not bad. I did not know that. Wow.
Anyway. 6:30, yeah. So now Troy is looking for a new head coach. Coach Cross is one of my favorites of all time. He said, could Troy look at Scott Sanderson from Faulkner? Today, the 6:37 a.m. text to me. Hi, Barry. I saw Jerry McNamara to Syracuse, Brian Hodgson to Providence. Yeah, the former Nate Oates assistant who was at Arkansas State, then 1 year at South Florida, and now he's going to Providence. Looks like Hubert Davis gone at North Carolina. That was just a precursor to his text. He says, another pro wrestler has died from throat cancer. Dennis Condrey, an original member of the Midnight Express with Norvell Austin and Randy Rose. I met Dennis, got his autograph at Wrestled Birmingham around 2005 time frame. Was a native of Florence, Alabama. Thank you, Dennis Mitchell. That was the deal.
Dennis, you have got to get my number. I cannot believe I'm just finding out about Scott Cross is at Georgia Tech.
Oh, I can send it. I can send him your number right now. Yeah. It's been a busy weekend. Troy played on Thursday in the NCAA tournament, lost to Memphis. We got back home Thursday night. I did the show from here in my place Friday, and then hopped in the car and went to Hattiesburg, Mississippi for a 3-game baseball series. Just got back last night. And on that trip down to Hattiesburg on Friday is when it all broke. Of course, the connection there is Brent Jones, who's now an assistant AD at Georgia Tech. Coach Cross, the rumors were out Friday after the show. The announcement was made Friday night. He was in Atlanta on Saturday with, Jenna's wife and the kids, and now all that stuff. And now the press conference is this morning. And Troy's in the market.
Mentioned I'd heard Scott Cross being interviewed on Serious College Sports. I'm not really sure who the commentators were. But it was one of these, I'm in the car. I get to my house and I stay in the car and listen to the rest of the interview. I thought, man, this guy, and we've interviewed him multiple times. I know you have hundreds of times. And I'm thinking, this guy, just listening to him, he's very interesting.
He is.
He's very informative, not cocky, confident, but not cocky.
Right.
And I thought, man, this guy is really on top of it. I was very impressed listening to that interview. Love
me some Coach Cross. I had no idea because it came up on Friday, and you in the chat line were asking me about it. I said, I don't know. It doesn't, they've kept it under wraps. So now Troy is looking for a new head coach. Scott Cross is at Georgia Tech. Dennis Mitchell. This is not as big as, the football stuff for Dennis. But basketball coaching moves, Dennis is on it. Got to take a break. It's 41 minutes into our show.
Mm-hmm.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information. Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com. Okay, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you are with us here, Longshore and McKnight. About 17 minutes to the top of the hour. During the break, Barry, I was scanning AL.com, going way back. I mean, look, I don't really need – maybe that's what people want to know is how much a school's spent on recruiting last year, how much revenue they generated, expenses and all this kind of stuff. I'm thinking, wait a minute, I need the hard-breaking news here. And I know we've kidded around in the past about AL.com not giving Troy enough love. Maybe this is look, and I looked at it Saturday and Sunday and still didn't see it. I'm amazed by this. This is really
AL.com.
Yeah, I'm
Schmabel.com. I'm a Yellowhammer guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yellowhammer News. I want to know about the $20 million investment in a new headquarters in Dothan. That's big down here.
Yeah.
What in the world happened with the Alabama Butterbean Festival after 20 years in Pinson? There's, Give me Yellowhammer News. You know how I felt over
I'm
years
with you.
for
Yeah.
AL.
I'm off of these guys. This is
Yeah.
ridiculous. I don't care about how much the recruiting budget was or blah, blah, blah.
Oh, no. Well, you know what I
Uh,
like about AL.com? You know, the thing that I've always appreciated about AL.com? How can you watch the Pelicans and the Timberwolves? Details inside. Now, there is one thing. Okay, and I'm just looking at it now.
John,
There's
Dennis
only
says I got to
one
keep
thing-
up.
There's only one thing I'm clickable at all, and I'm not going to, because, you know, all this stuff. But 10 hours ago, Mark Heim, he has a text, I'm sorry, a link, and the headline reads, March Madness, Texas Tech band taunts Alabama. Quote, where's the dealer? I would read that, but I'm not. I mean, that would be the only thing. AL.com.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Dennis, you're right. Dennis is right. Keep up, John. It's difficult.
Sorry,
Now,
Dennis.
look,
I know.
we can't keep up like you keep up.
No,
And no matter
no.
how hard we try. My
No.
buddy Jason, who's awesome, he says John needs a new algorithm, needs new algorithms if he missed the Scott Cross announcement. According to my social media now, I'm a huge Georgia Tech fan. Yeah.
You know, I talk about algorithms on this program a lot, but I'm not real sure what they are.
No, I don't know either. But yeah, I was bittersweet. Gosh, I love Coach Cross. But now he's gone, and now Troy fans can fixate over who the next coach is going to be. But it's the season for stuff like that.
Yeah,
This is the coaching change season, otherwise known as Dennis's happy time. And I do agree with this from John. And it's nobody's, being snarky or casting aspersions. But John, I don't think there's any doubt whether he doesn't, what happens on. I don't think there's any doubt Nate Oates is going to get some interest. You'd be an idiot if you didn't,
Sure. And that's what I'm saying. You got schools like North Carolina, Kentucky. They're not happy. Kansas has a head coach that, says he loves what he does, but he might have some health issues he's got to deal with. You mentioned Houston, where basketball is the most important sport.
Kentucky is the one that Kentucky and Kansas. I mean, Nate Oates, he's not necessarily a Midwestern guy, his background, a lot of it's in Michigan, but Kansas,
Nate Oates has had a better 2 years than the head football coach at Alabama's had.
And no matter what, no matter if he has, John, 25 straight years of having a better season than the Alabama football coach has, it ain't going to be the number one sport in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He could go 50 straight years of having a better winning percentage than the Alabama football coach has, and you're still going to have the Bob from Pike Roads who's going to weigh in and say, oh, yeah, there's no doubt. It's just a, what did he say? It's just an off-season sport.
Just get you through till spring football, and then.
Yeah, that was the one. So,
look, I'm not being the doomsday guy, but I think you got to consider it. That, and Barry, look, if they win Friday night, whoa, all bets are off.
Yeah.
He will be the hottest candidate out there for any school looking for a new head coach. Nate Oates will be at the top of the list if they beat Michigan Friday night.
Now, that and again, whether he goes or not, that's not what we're saying. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. No, I just know that there will be interest, and he'll get maybe some offers, certainly some interest. But the amount of money that Kentucky can pay, I'm telling you, Alabama can match it. But do they want to? Kentucky, I mean, those people are nuts. Those people are crazy, right? We know that. Kentucky, Big Blue Nation is is bonkers. Now, would Alabama, if Alabama were to be able to match it, and they would they even do it? Would they pay Kentucky money for basketball?
Well, is it the salary or is it the money available for NIL? Because all spring we've heard Kentucky spent $23 million on this roster.
Yeah.
Well, they obviously didn't get their money's worth. So you bring in a guy like Nate Oates and give him $23 million to spend on a roster? Are they better? I would think there's some Kentucky fans up there that think they would be.
And if I'm Nate Oates and Greg Byrne comes up to me and says, man, I appreciate you letting me know that you're getting interest in this and that and everything. What will it what will it take to keep you? Oates is going to ask for more money. This is America. But I guarantee you that NIL is going to be just slightly below that. He makes a bunch of money. That's going to be a thing. He's going to say, look, you can give me a raise and everything, but unless we can at least stay in the same ballpark as the Kentuckys and the Texases and all of them, at some point you're going to say, hey, Nate, you need to step it up. You got to give me a bigger assistant coach salary pool, but more than anything else, you got to get me some NIL.
Nate Oates basically said that years ago when the two of us interviewed him, and he made the statement. We were talking about new arenas and the facilities and things of that nature. He says, I don't need it. I need NIL money. That money that would go to a new facility, I need it in the NIL. So he's been thinking about that for several years.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. You can pay Nate Oates whatever you're paying him, but you've got to be able to have the resources to go out and get the best players. And Alabama's not in a position to be able to have enough money to get the players they want on the football field and on the basketball court. I don't think they're going to take money away from the football program. Well, we got to give Nate 3 or 4 extra million. I don't think that's going to happen.
Can you imagine the reaction of some of those old Bear Bryant guys? Come up and say, well, golly, we could have gotten that quarterback, but we ran out of NIL so we can get a point guard for the basketball team.
Yeah.
You imagine some of those old guys? Ooh,
now,
man.
there has not even been a shred of or any mention at all, except me bringing it up earlier today, that maybe Nate Oates would be a candidate for one of these other schools. But Bob from Pike Road's already got the replacement lined up.
Yeah, Bob from Pike Road. He's been consistent with this. Bob from Pike Road said, if Bama loses Oates, which I hope we don't, Bucky, come on down. Great young coach, no doubt. He's talking Bucky McMillan, who was at Samford, was at Mountain Brook, now at Texas A&M. Bob from Pike Road says Bucky McMillan would be in Tuscaloosa faster than DeBoer was 2 years ago.
Bob, that's a great chat that you just submitted there on the River Region Straw chat line. But who was the first person to mention, I think Bama needs to take a look at this Bucky McMillan guy out of Mountain Brook. He is really hot. Bucky McMillan? Who? What are you talking about? Just saying.
I don't think it would be Bucky McMillan because they're going to want somebody off of what now has become the Nate Oates tree. Brian Hodgson, and this is spot on as well from Tobias. Hodgson chose Providence over Syracuse. Brian Hodgson turned down Syracuse because Syracuse doesn't put money in their NIL. Syracuse is in trouble. It is not a big school. It is a private school. It is in the ACC. They've got a rich basketball tradition. They've done all right in football, got a Heisman Trophy winner and all that. But, man, financially, they ain't going to be able to keep up. And they certainly aren't in basketball. So that is true.
Brian Hodgson has kind of fast-tracked it. I mean,
he has. He was at Arkansas State for 2 years. He was at South Florida only this year. Now he's at Providence. He would be a guy, Charlie Henry down at Georgia Southern's a Nate Oates guy. The one to watch out for, if that were to happen, and again, we're presupposing something that hadn't even happened yet. The one to watch out for would be Antoine Petway, if you ask me. He's at Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State made the NCAA tournament this year. former Alabama guard,
Yeah.
ferocious recruiter. You and I have interviewed Antoine Petway before, way back. This is when he was still a player, I believe. And that would be the guy to watch out for.
That's interesting. I didn't realize he was at Kennesaw State.
Yeah.
Could he be Troy's next coach?
That's a name. I can't conjecture on any of it. But there are several names out there that I think are viable. And Jason Jones, if you can conjecture on a few names on the chat line over here, feel free to. But I cannot. I number one, I do not know. I don't even think that the that there have been.
Yeah, well, I hate that this conversation has turned from Bama's just incredible win last night. Played the best game they played all year. Offensive rebounds, threes from all over the place, people contributing. I think one of the announcers said there was one player, they got to give him the ball. He's the only one that hadn't made a three tonight. Obviously distributed the ball really well. And then to morph into, I'm not sure they're going to be able to keep their coach if they keep winning. I know that's kind of a Debbie Downer thing, but.
Well, why not? Somebody also in the very first segment, when yours truly said that was the most impressive performance of the Sunday second round games, immediately it was like, and I said, I think if they play like they played last night, they'll be there at the end. Who was the first one to go with the patented old, who was the one to say, first one to say, because I agree with this, I don't see them beating Michigan. And also, man, what happens if Nate Oates makes a run? He's going to get some interest. And now John's lamenting, I hate it that it turned into that. Well,
yeah.
Who turned it into that?
I don't want our chat line to start beating me up, but it's okay. I knew what I was getting into when I broached the subject. I feel like it's only fair. You got a hot coach. He still doesn't interview well. He's good when he's been on with us, but when these TV guys interview him, he kind of seems like he really doesn't want to do it, when he's kind of awkward and doesn't say a lot. Do we need that as well, Barry? Do we need the floor reporter to go up there and talk to players and coaches in the middle of the game?
Yeah, that's never appealed to me. It really never has. Hey, coach, you've just given up an 18-4 run. What do you need to do to get in? Who was it? The coach over the weekend. Oh, and this is top of my head. The coach over the weekend who says, I'm going to fire my entire assistant coaching. This is during the game. During the game, she says, what can you do about he says, I want to fire my entire assistant coaching staff. And she says, not now. And he says, oh, yeah, now. I'm fixing to go fire him right now. That was the best one out of the whole thing. Obviously, he didn't. But, that's the only time those things have ever been entertaining or insightful. Yeah. Well, coach, what do you need to do? Well, we need to play defense and we need to rebound. Thank you for that. I'm totally with you on that.
Walking into the locker room at halftime, but during the game, it's kind of like right before kickoff. Well, let's go down to the field. Laura Rutledge is with Kayla DeBoer. Coach, what do you think right here before kickoff? Well, I think the same thing I told you yesterday when we sat in my office and we talked about the game.
Yes, but then we weren't on camera with you showing what a big deal we are. And the coach can't say no, because then here comes this 70-year-old guy in a suit with a CBS or an NCAA patch on, and he'll go show that coach contract right here. See, all right, yeah, we need to play defense and rebound. Okay, they're paying what did we say, $1.007 billion that they're going to be making this year.
Yeah,
they're going to get the coach. If the coach wants, if they want the coach to come out there in a ballerina's tutu, he's going to have to do it. That's and there's no value to it.
Yeah,
except to say, hey, here we are with the coach. Can you believe it? Wow. The coach ain't going to say anything.
Antoine Petway has a good-looking wife, I'm told, here on the chat line. Never seen her, never met her.
Yeah.
A little run with High Point. They've got some assistant coaches with some Troy ties, I'm seeing
Yeah,
here.
High Point was 30-4 this year. Their head coach is Flynn Clayman, who I did the play-by-play for when he was at Troy. And Coach Clayman was a player at Troy when Ben Fletcher was an assistant coach at Troy. Fletcher was the interim head coach at South Florida when their head coach passed away like 3 weeks before the season. He did fine, but they hired Brian Hodgson, and Coach Fletcher was the assistant coach this year at High Point, which had a fantastic year. So let's take a break. It is the top of the hour. Hour number 2 already?
Unbelievable.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272.
Hey, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You get a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light. Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here? Oh, Bud Light there. I missed that because of you. You did not miss that play because of me. Tough to stop talking this way? Yeah. It's actually kind of fun. Hey, I got your Bud Light. Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. What I miss? I have no idea.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. 2 minutes past the top of the hour here on a Monday. Before we move on, Barry, I want to mention something to our viewers and listeners, and I'm going to tell you about it over the next couple of days, but it is a big event, and I want everybody to kind of make a plan on Wednesday. This Wednesday, March 25th, Jersey Mike's across the entire nation is hosting the Month of Giving. And they're focusing on supporting Special Olympics athletes who are attending the 2026 USA Games. On Wednesday, March the 25th, 100% of sales, 100%,
right,
will be donated to the 2026 Special Olympics USA Games and local state programs. So go to any Jersey Mike's location. I know there's one in Montgomery. There's one in Prattville.
There's one in Troy right on 231. Yeah. Very convenient.
So it's awesome. 100% of the sales will go to that. You can also make donations as well. If you can't make it to Jersey Mike's, you can make donations via their app. You can do that through the entire month. Of course, these donations will support the athletes for the 2026 Special Olympics USA Games. It will be taking place in Minneapolis, June 20th through the 26th. Jersey Mike's goal, they will aim to exceed the previous year's record-breaking $30 million in donations. And they've raised over $143 million since 2011. So it's a great promotion. We certainly want to remind everybody to, there again, you can go on the Jersey Mike's app right now and donate, but why don't you go out to your local Jersey Mike's on Wednesday all day, anytime during the day, because 100% of the sales are going to Special Olympics, not only on the national level, but you're on the state level as well. So certainly Special Olympics Alabama will benefit greatly from this promotion. And we want to thank Jersey Mike's for doing that and want you to go out there and enjoy a great sandwich. I like they call it the juice berry. It's like oil and vinegar and all.
But it's not. I mean, it's. I know oil and vinegar and all of that. People say that that's kind of what me and John are. But whatever that stuff is, maybe it's got oregano in it. I know some people have a hard time detecting oregano, but Aiden Hollow, no. But they've got it's got oregano, it's got pepper in it. Yeah. But that stuff is addictive. Which I don't even know what they call it. But every time I go to Jersey Mike's, that's what I get.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Love it. Yeah.
So get on out there Wednesday, or like I said, you can go to the app right now and donate. But really appreciate that.
That's Eli Manning's place, too. Eli Manning and Danny DeVito. Love those guys. And that is a great outreach. Okay.
It is awesome.
So,
all right. So, Barry, the Big Ten's crowing, and I don't blame them.
I don't either.
I mean, we've seen what they've done in football. Now look at what they're doing in basketball. Now, look, Greg. Look,
Greggy.
I don't know what we got to do here, but the Big Ten is showing us up.
Let me see if I can account for them all. This is Saturday. Michigan wins.
Yep.
Michigan State wins. Illinois wins. Nebraska wins. That's 4 just on Saturday. They all move to the Sweet 16. Purdue wins. Iowa. They beat the Gators yesterday. What in the world are you doing? Iowa's a 9 seed. Iowa wins. That's 6, right? 6, 7 that's 6 that are in the Sweet 16 from the Big Ten. And I know, you know what the deal was during the year? All of us SEC-centric people were saying, yeah, Big Ten, you're saying you're the best conference in the country, blah, 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 and everything. We all know it's the SEC. Well, also, Houston out of the Big 12. Other Big 12. Arizona. Iowa State. Of course, Texas Tech took it on the chin bad.
Yeah.
Who does the SEC have left? Alabama, Tennessee, Texas, which everybody even now forgets is in the SEC, and Arkansas.
Has Arkansas had the easiest road so far? I was looking at who they've played. They're in the Sweet 16 going up against Arizona, but they beat Hawaii and High Point.
Yeah, High Point so far has been their high point.
Yeah.
It's been easy. Cal is coaching his behind off, though. I got to tell you this.
If they beat Arizona, watch out. Boy, Kentucky's thinking, how do we get rid of this guy? Ooh.
Yeah. Because he can, people forget, Patino, he can still coach. If there's anything more embarrassing than Florida's defense up 2 with 8 seconds to go against Iowa, giving that guy exactly what they needed, it was the defense by Kansas letting that little white kid just take it right up the court and get a layup. St. John's wins at 67-65.
Are you surprised?
What are you doing?
Are you surprised Friday night, excuse me, that Duke and St. John's are going to be on CBS while Alabama and Michigan, 2 teams that have fought it out multiple times on the gridiron, now they're getting on the hardwood. They don't know if they're going to be on TBS or True TV. They haven't made that decision yet, but they're going to put them on one of those networks while Duke and St. John's are on CBS. I wonder who figures that out.
I think the two games opposite the 2 CBS games, and John's right. You think the suits are not going to put? You got 4 games on Friday. You think they're not going to put St. John's versus Duke and Michigan State and UConn on CBS? Now, on the other side, I think both of those are going to be TBS games. Alabama, Michigan at 6:35, and then Tennessee, Iowa State at 9:10.
That's another thing. I mean, come on, Greg. You need to look. you got to show your muscle. Tell CBS, whoa, wait a minute.
Now,
You got to get some of our teams on CBS.
well, the SEC does have 2 teams on CBS on Thursday. They'll have Texas and Purdue on CBS at 6:10 Thursday, and then Arkansas, Arizona at 8:45. If I had to pick a team to win it right now, the team I think will win it, I'd have to go Arizona. Right now, they are so good. The 2 TBS games on Thursday, Iowa and Nebraska. Oh, those Midwestern people will love it. Big Ten versus Big Ten. And then Illinois versus Houston. So, that's John likes to go conspiracy theories.
Oh, yeah.
You think CBS, you don't think that they're going to flex their muscle a little bit? Well, yeah, he's right. They are. CBS is going, you can do whatever you want to with TBS. What is it? TBS? Is that what it's called? Yeah. Do whatever you want to with TBS. But you're giving us St. John's Duke.
Yeah, Duke's not going to be on Michigan True
State
TV.
And UConn.
They're not going to be on TBS. At least for Bama fans, they don't have to stay up all night. 6:35 is the tip time for Alabama and Michigan. Let's face it, the Tide has not had good success against Michigan athletics recently. Now, don't tell me, hey, they beat them in volleyball or they beat them in baseball. No. Michigan has embarrassed Alabama in the last 2 times they played in football. They beat them in a playoff game out in the Rose Bowl. Then they lost the next year at a bowl game. I couldn't even tell you where it was played.
The Outback, Hall of Fame, Citrus.
Something like that. Now they're going to face the number 1 seeded Michigan Wolverines Friday night as a 11-point underdog.
And Michigan's best player, first team All-American, Big Ten Player of the Year, and he's just beaten everybody to death. His name is Yaxel Lendeborg. Yaxel Lendeborg is a stud, and he is a 1-year transfer. He comes to Michigan to play his final year from where? UAB.
Oh, yeah.
He was at UAB kicking butt and taking names and whatever they were in the American. That's a branch campus of the same Happy University system.
Really?
You think Alabama would not have loved to have had Yaxel Lendeborg, knowing what we know about Alabama's problems this year, rebounding and post defense? You know why Yaxel Lendeborg is at Michigan instead of at Alabama? It's because of NIL. Alabama can't compete with Michigan's NIL. They had the perfect guy an hour away for their system, and they couldn't get him because they couldn't afford him.
Yeah, Alabama hadn't had a lot of success with players transferring from within the state. See Aiden Holloway. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe they dodged him.
Holloway's been, I mean, he has a certain zest for living, but I think Holloway's been a success. But
you got to be a complete player, Barry, both on and off the floor. You got to conduct yourself in a law-abiding manner. So I don't know, but that does kind of make you wonder how did that kid get to Ann Arbor, Michigan? And there's schools right
probably
here
by a charter jet, you know.
And then that goes back to the Nate Oates deal.
That's what I'm saying.
Can Alabama compete with other schools that can pay these players and has a payroll a lot larger than what Alabama has? And you're going to take some of it away from football? Not going to happen.
Again, Alabama, I say they lose. I don't know that they ever had him. They were even a player. But Yaxel Lendeborg goes to Michigan. He spent 3 years at UAB. Alabama would have loved to have had him. Couldn't afford him. The same reason he's at Michigan's the same reason why the best defensive player in college football this year was at Ohio State instead of Alabama. Same deal. It's the same reason why Michigan's starting running back left Alabama to go to Michigan. Justice Haynes. Same deal. Alabama has a lot of money. They do. But Michigan, Texas, Ohio State, I'm just telling you, that's a different world right
Well,
there.
I guess the one of the positives though about it, Barry, you can say, well, Kentucky spent a fortune and they're not in the tournament anymore.
True. That's true. That's valid. That's fair.
So I guess you're not guaranteed. I mean, I guess you got to. The odds say you're going to win based on what these recruiting rankings tell you and transfer rankings and things of that nature. But once you get them on campus and they get there, if they don't gel, they don't click, you could have a problem there. But I just don't know. If one of these big time schools, and we mentioned them, North Carolina, Kentucky, possibly Kansas, Houston, whomever, they come knocking on Nate Oates' door with a much larger NIL purse to draw from,
you're gonna see his eye through the peephole, and then he's gonna open up that door, welcome them in. The little lady's gonna bake a cake and brew a pot of coffee, and they're gonna listen to what they've got to say.
This is an interesting, and they always are, from Tobias.
He's great.
Would Caleb Downs have stuck around if Nick Saban had not retired? My thing there, Barry, is would Nick Saban would he have been able to pay Caleb Downs what Ohio State was paying him?
No.
So, I mean, I love Nick Saban, and he recruited me, and, I love everything about what he's done with defensive backs and gotten them to the league and all this, that, and the other, but they can't pay me what Ohio State's paying me. And, the loyalty for a school or a loyalty for a uniform, to me, that is so far and few between. But I did see a clip last night. This is amazing. Houston Millett, in the post-game press conference last night after Alabama beat Texas Tech, said, I will die for this school. I love this place. Talking about how much he loves being at Alabama and what it's done for him. Yeah, that was refreshing. I'm thinking, whoa, boy, you don't hear that much these days because, unfortunately, it's not about the school or the logo or the environment. It's about how much am I getting paid. And ultimately, I think that's what it's going to come down to a lot of these athletes. But I'm not sold Caleb Downs would still be at Alabama if Nick Saban was still there.
I agree. I do agree with that. I don't think so either.
Now, maybe Julian
I don't know that I'd
Saban might
die
have
for my
still been
school,
there.
but
He might have stuck around. I don't know. That's just
I don't know. Maybe for my school or and I love my school. Maybe a finger. I'd give a finger. A pinky or something. So, something pinky tip or something like that. If I don't know that I'd die for him. I got, it was
the emotion. It was the emotion of the moment. I thought that was a little strong as well.
Yeah.
He could have gone, man, I love this place. It's been great. But hey, I mean, it's an emotional win. He had a good game.
I tell you
excited.
what,
he's pumped up.
I would buy, and we had a conversation about this years ago, about somebody submitted to us. This is when we were on radio. We didn't have any visuals. I know, ladies, that was a bad time for you. But if somebody sent us a picture, this is years ago, of this old guy he was a country guy, rural Alabama, 80s, and he had passed away.
Okay.
And according to the terms of his will, he was to be buried, and I'm pretty sure it ended up happening that way. He was to be buried in an Alabama-themed casket.
Oh, I can believe that.
And somebody had sent us a picture of the Alabama-themed casket. I mean, it was crimson, and it was, the varnished wood and all that kind of stuff, and it had the script A on the top and everything, and Roll Tide in cursive at the bottom and all that.
I think they played the fight song during his funeral service.
I if I'm Houston Mellett, I'm thinking, I would do that. I would tell them, look, when I die, I'm going to be buried in an Alabama casket. That'd be about my extent. Chris the Bammer says, what's your school, Barry? I am a Troy Trojan, Chris. I don't know. Geez. All right. That'd be about as far as I'd go. I mean,
yeah. I think it was just
although
excited.
That's kind of pointless because once you're down under,
yeah,
ain't nobody can see it anymore.
No. Yeah, I don't know if I'd do that either. I mean,
but that'd be.
I mentioned those losses to Michigan in football. That was kind of like getting buried. So I don't know if I'd.
Yeah, they got buried against Indiana. That's for sure.
And Indiana as well. Yeah, you're right. So I don't know if I would like to have those. Speaking of buried.
When we come back, the Phantom's Daily Dog.
Yeah.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
It's Ram Truck Month at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. New Rams $20,000 off or 0% for 6 years, and heavy duties $12,000 off. Backed by Ram's 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The Declaration of Deal sales event is on at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. Grand Cherokees, Grand Cherokee L's, and Gladiators up to $15,000 off, and Wranglers $13,000 off. Only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
You're not buying sticks, stems, and pine cones. You're buying premium long-diddle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River region, full of color that will last all season long. Kenny has locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. Pickup is available, or your order can be delivered. They can even spread your pine straw if you like. So call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw needs. Okay, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you're with us. 21 minutes past the hour. Coming off a winning week last week. Winning week here with the Phantom's Daily Dog, but we ended the week on a down note. Even though the week was a winner, Friday was not. With the Missouri Tigers catching 2.5 against Miami, not even in the game, not even close.
What was that all about? Yeah, I had written that down to talk. Missouri was terrible.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. So let's just go ahead and move on. Yeah.
They were playing in St. Louis.
Yeah, they were.
Whatever it was, 2 hours away from Columbia.
So, Barry, that might be to Alabama's advantage Friday night, because this is going to be like a Michigan home game. You got to know that Big Blue Nation's going to roll into Chi-Town, the #1 seed, going up against a #4 seed Bama team who they've already beaten twice in the last couple of 3 years in football. They're smelling blood again with this Tide team, so you got to think it's going to be a pro-Michigan crowd. Maybe it'll work the same way as it did for Missouri. Crowd won't matter, and Bama can sneak in there and get a win. We'll see.
But that's
tonight.
That very likely will not be the Daily Dog.
No, I don't think so.
Friday.
But we'll wait and see how that plays out.
All right.
Could be some arrests. Could be some girlfriends breaking up with these guys. We'll see. We'll wait on Friday.
Aiden Holloway, will he be cleared to go by then?
Yeah, don't need him. All right, Barry, we're getting to the NBA, and we're getting to that time of year where we've got some teams that have already clinched playoff spots, and we got some teams that have already eliminated themselves from postseason. I'll go ahead and give you a little quick rundown. Detroit is in the Eastern Conference.
In the Central Division of the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. At this point, Detroit is the only team in the Eastern Conference that is in the playoffs, but they're going to be more, I can promise you.
That is correct. That is
in the Western Conference. Oklahoma City and San Antonio have punched their ticket to postseason.
Yeah.
They're in. We've in the Eastern Division, Brooklyn, Washington, and Indiana have been eliminated. In the Western, Utah and Sacramento have been eliminated. They're just playing out the string.
Just earning the paycheck.
Just earning the paycheck.
Going through the motions.
And if the Pelicans could get a little run here, maybe they could make postseason. They're right on the cusp.
Whoa,
of
they?
Making the postseason? Yeah, but they're
John. They're 22 games under 500.
Yeah, then the NBA don't matter. It don't matter. They're
That's a screwed up thing when you're 22 games under 500 and you're fighting for a playoffs.
Yeah, they're 8.5 games out of the 10th spot in the Western Conference. I think
they don't have a
teams.
What are you saying? They don't have a shot?
No, they really don't. They probably don't.
Jeez.
But you got to look at these teams that are kind of scratching and clawing their way and wanting to hold on to their playoff positioning. That's where I see a game tonight, Barry, between the Miami Heat. This game will be played in Miami, where the Heat have lost 4 in a row. It is a fact. But they are right there hanging on for their postseason life.
The problem is that they're taking on the San Antonio Spurs,
who have already clinched a playoffs. They're in. San Antonio is in playoffs. Don't matter what. They could lose out.
So if Victor Wembanyama is sprinting up and down the court, playing as hard as he possibly can, and he blows out an ankle or breaks his nose or something like that, the Spurs don't want that. They're going to do the best they can to keep that from happening. Am I right?
It's called load management, I believe, Barry. Yeah. So San Antonio has won 5 in a row. Not as many as Oklahoma City, who's won 11 in a row. Man, you talking about hot. But they're heading down to Miami tonight. The Miami Heat hosting the San Antonio Spurs. As I mentioned, Miami lost 4. Okay. They need to kind of get back on track. They are 5 games over 500, still clinging for a postseason spot. They're catching 5. Seems a little low, but we don't think so. Don't let that scare you. We're going to grab the 5, the Miami Heat at home against the San Antonio Spurs, who are already in the playoffs. Miami trying to get there. We like the Heat tonight. Plus,
I thought this was going to be a thing. I'm a little disappointed, even though I think that's a solid pick. I'm a little disappointed because I thought the Phantom would be playing a little game at 11 o'clock this morning. It's slim pickings. There's a light card, as they say. Alabama is playing Louisville at 11 o'clock this morning. If you tune in, if you're watching us live, and you tune in in 2.5 hours to ESPN, you'll get to see Christy Curry's fabled Alabama Lady Tide play as a 6 seed against number 3 seed Louisville. Now, that's at 11 o'clock this morning. I don't even know if there's a line or anything like this.
There is in Vegas.
But Alabama, if they win this morning in women's basketball against Louisville, Alabama would make the Sweet 16 of the women's basketball tournament for the first time since 1998.
Wow.
It's a big one. Now, it's at Louisville.
You know, Barry, a couple of things. I have never bet on a sport involving women. Now, I don't want that to come across as sexist, all that type stuff. I just have never had an interest to wager on a female sport. Basketball, softball, LPGA, you name it. Thought, not going to do that.
Yeah.
But hey, Christy Curry, you go for it. If they win today, they make the Sweet 16?
Yes, which they have not done since the Clinton presidency.
Huh.
And her husband, Bill, too. This was 1998.
So my question, Barry, is how many How many programs have both the men and the women in the Sweet 16 if Christy Curry can get it done this morning?
Oh, I should have been ready. I should have been ready with that. I was not. I was not ready with that. Let me tell you, how many programs have had their men's basketball program, their women's basketball program in the Sweet 16, and their college football program in the Final 12?
How about that?
Let's see. Iowa is they're in the round of 32 in women's basketball. They're in the Sweet 16 in men's basketball. UConn, of course, the men and the women, they're both powerhouses. They're both still alive. Illinois is still in both. And that's it.
Okay.
That's it. But I can guarantee you Illinois wasn't in the college football playoff, and neither was UConn, and neither was Iowa. So Alabama's it.
Yeah.
Greggy, you got it going on. So
Greg,
why are your fans giving you such a hard time about Kalen DeBoer? You got it rolling there. You know where Auburn is in all of those?
Ooh.
Auburn isn't in all of those. Auburn isn't in any of those.
That's
Men's
right.
tournament, women's tournament, college football playoff.
You know, Greg, give you a hand. This was the term I was looking for. Yes, male chauvinist pig. That's what I was looking for. I couldn't think of it right off the and in Theodis, it's Lady Tide, not Lady Bams.
It's actually Crimson Tide. John would say, "Oh, I see the Lady Aubs are playing the Lady Tide." I said, "They're the Auburn Tigers and the Alabama Crimson Tide." Man, wait a minute. They're not the Lady Crimson Tide? They're not the Lady Tigers? No, not anymore.
Lady Tide, Lady Aubs. You know, look, Tennessee, I got to give them credit. They call them the Lady Vols.
That's true. And they're one of the few that still does that. Maybe the only one. I don't know that anybody else still does that. But
I think it's a real nice gesture.
But
to reference them as ladies. Even Tennessee women.
Have you ever bet on a horse race?
Yes.
Have you ever bet on a dog race?
Yes.
That's about the only chance I can think of John betting on anything involving females.
I bet on Highlight before, but I don't think females play Highlight.
I've actually been to a Highlight Fronton is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Could not tell you what was going on out there.
Me either. Had no
Zero
clue.
idea.
No clue
Anyway,
what was happening.
So
women's sports. I don't think I have. I don't think I have. Now, like being in a bar with your buddies, okay, $5, the next girl that walks in's a blonde.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't count.
Even mud wrestling, Jello wrestling. None of that. Oh, that woman, old Bertha over there, man, I'm putting 10 on her right now. None of that.
I don't think I've done that before. I can't say I have. Yeah. All right, so there you have it. The Miami Heat is the Phantoms Daily Dog tonight, catching 5 at home against the San Antonio Spurs. So I'm glad you brought that. I'm going to look that up.
11 o'clock this morning, Crimson Tide tips off against Louisville.
Does Chris Stewart do those games? Who does on the radio broadcast for the Lady Tide?
It's not the Lady Tide. I want to say it's Mick Gillespie.
Mick Gillespie.
Heck,
okay, NCAA women. Here we go. Huh. I can't believe I hadn't looked at this yet. And probably wouldn't have if Barry hadn't brought it up just a minute ago.
Well, I mean, it's a thing. Yeah, I knew it was a light card in, the Phantoms Daily Dog. Yeah. But yeah, Alabama is 24-10. Louisville is 28-7. And again, if Alabama wins it, and I don't think they will, they'll be in the Sweet 16.
Alabama is an 8.5-point dog this morning.
How do you find that? No way. There is a line on that. I did women's basketball. I still do. I've done women's basketball for years. And I've never seen a line on that.
So, Barry, if Alabama wins today, you know who they play in the Sweet 16?
The winner of?
Oh, well, they're already there. They're waiting on the winner of today's game. the Michigan Wolverines.
How about that? Well, and I stand corrected. Roger Hoover is doing.
Hoover. I like that guy.
Women's. Oh, Roger's great.
Never met him, but he sounds good on the air.
Nicest guy in the world. Well, I say he's a new father. He's been a father for about a year. So,
South Carolina is a 22.5-point favorite over Southern Cal. That game is tonight. Trying to look at Oklahoma.
No, South Carolina is all that.
Oklahoma will play the winner of the South Carolina USC game. I'm trying to see what other SEC teams are in this. Oklahoma, right. South Carolina, Alabama, Kentucky, and West Virginia play today at 4:00. And Texas is in it. A lot of SEC representation. Will Greg Byrne be at this game today, Barry?
Better be.
11 o'clock.
Better be.
And it's being played where again?
In Louisville at the Yum Center.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, at Louisville.
Okay.
So that's the story. When we come back,
a
few more things, and then we are preparing for the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. All that still coming up in the final 25 minutes of our live show. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with one of their clinics and take advantage of physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solution services. Get back in the game, get back to work, and get back to life with Phoenix Physical Therapy. To find a location near you and to schedule an appointment, go to phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. That's phoenixphysicaltherapy.com.
Summer's here, and so too are its many challenges. Heat that won't quit, beers that won't fit, hammocks that won't hammock, screen doors that appear out of nowhere, flips that flop a little too much. That's why it's important to keep it simple. Keep it cool, keep them coming, and keep it easy. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Okay, we're getting close to, let's see here, about 22 minutes to the top of the hour here on this Monday. Barry, I saw that, I think we talked about this earlier, where they're going to have flag football in the Olympics. I don't know why people can't see us here. We have a Bud Light logo in front of us here. Maybe that's better than looking at our faces.
Help us out, Gurn. Let's see if we can.
Why that is on there like that. Anyway.
I got to figure it out. There we go. I got it. I figured it out. Thanks.
Flag football is going to be an Olympic sport. And I saw over the weekend, Barry, where a bunch of NFL players went up against this flag football team and got schooled.
This is probably going to be on the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel, because I remember there is a Twitter account that I love. It's called Freezing Cold Takes.
Yep.
And they take all of the submissions from the entire Twitter world about people who guarantee this. I guarantee you that Jalen Milroe will win a Heisman before he leaves Alabama. Or I guarantee you that Auburn will not have had a better quarterback in the last 25 years than Jackson Arnold. And then Freezing Cold Takes will take it later on, and they'll retweet it, and everybody says, oh, what a bozo. What in the world was he thinking, and all that stuff. Somebody had said, it is amazing to me. This is like a year ago or last fall. It is amazing to me that somebody would think that a bunch of flag football players could beat players in the NFL because these guys specialize in flag football. The NFL players are the biggest, they're the fastest, they're the strongest, they're the most agile and all that. The NFL would absolutely wipe the floor with flag football players. Are you kidding me? Freezing Cold Takes got a hold of that one because they did play yesterday. I think it was the actual Olympic team, Team USA, and they beat the snot out of a group of NFL players. I mean, Joe Burrow was on that team. Odell Beckham was on that team. I mean, Tom Brady was on that team. Jalen Hurts was the starter at quarterback for that team. I mean, these are, and Gronk was on that team, but he pulled a hammy. Of course he did. Jaden Daniels played. Devontae Smith played. Devontae Smith was actually really good. But I'm telling you, those full-time flag football guys, they beat them to death.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't even close. 1-0. They scored on. They have scored against the NFL. They played 3 games, and the flag football guys won all 3 games by a combined score of 106-44.
Whew.
Here's what you got to do in flag football. I mean, you got to be fast.
Yeah.
And you got to be
fast.
agile. Didn't you? You've played flag football before.
Oh, we used to play intramural flag football. You talk about some blood and broken bones.
Last time I played was for the morning Maulers against the afternoon Avengers out there at Huntington with me and Schultz. Schultz shows up. He's got Bobby Humphrey on his team. I'm thinking, you got to be
How's that
kidding me,
work?
Raj. But you got to be agile because the number one thing you got to be able to do in flag football, you got to be twitchy enough to where it make it hard for them to grab your flags.
Correct.
Right? And the NFL guys could not do it. They had a couple of guys for flag football that, I mean, the NFL guys couldn't deal with. So, yeah, the freezing cold takes got a hold of that one because it was not even close.
Barry, I am told through my VIP River Region Straw hotline,
Of course.
and I should have looked at this earlier, but we were talking about Alabama's success on the football field and on the basketball court, women's basketball, making the college football playoff and making the Sweet 16. I am told that Bama swept Florida in baseball over the weekend and actually threw a no-hitter Friday night. How did I look? I missed the Troy basketball coach and Bama sweeping the Gators.
The big story there? The big story there is the no-hitter, and this is top of my head. I was busy doing baseball all weekend. I have been all over the place. I'm so fried. I don't even know what I'm going to do yesterday. But the guy's name was Tyler Fay for Alabama.
Okay.
And Florida was like number 1 for a little while. I mean, Florida, they are fantastic. They are really good.
Was this series in Tuscaloosa or Gainesville?
Yeah, it was in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, okay.
This guy throws a no-hitter. It ain't a no-hitter against Prairie View. It ain't a no-hitter against Abilene Christian. This is against the University of Florida. He throws a no-hitter. I think it was game 2. It might have been Friday. And Alabama sweeps. This is the big disconnect here. This is the big disconnect with some, all right, I'll say it, spoiled Alabama fans. Look. Your football team made the college football playoff. Okay, they couldn't run the football. I mean, it's still a work in progress for Kalen DeBoer. And he made the college football playoff. Men's basketball is in the Sweet 16. Women's basketball is a win away from being in the Sweet 16. Baseball is 18-7. they've been ranked all year long. Now, it's true they got swept in Lexington in the opening weekend.
Ooh.
But they sweep Florida, who's top 20.
Hey, bounce back.
And by the way, that no-hitter was on Friday in Tuscaloosa, and it was by right-hander Tyler Fay. I'm right. 9 innings, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, 13 strikeouts.
Man.
Wow. You've got an All-American on your baseball team named Justin LeBron. He's terrific. He'll be one of the top 3 picks. Stop whining. Stop complaining. Woe is us. I still can't believe we can't run the football and we got blown out 3 times. Shut up. You guys are kicking butt and taking names up there in Tuscaloosa.
I don't want to ruffle any feathers, hurt any feelings. And I get it. I mean, I was busy over the weekend. I mentioned on Friday's show, I had 4 high school seniors that I was looking out after as they were
trying to
wrapping up
feed. So that's
feed them. And thanks, Destin Connection. Man, they enjoyed that seafood we fried up on Friday night. They really enjoyed that. The triple tail, the snapper, and the sea bass. I
haven't had sea bass. I've had just about everything from the Destin Connection. I've never had the sea bass.
Really, really good. David said, fry this up. You'll really, really enjoy it. Had some shrimp to go along with it. It was great. Fantastic. So I was kind of dealing with them all weekend, making sure they weren't doing anything they shouldn't be doing. And I was out of touch with some things like Bama baseball and Troy's basketball coach.
Well,
but hey, I am relying on the VIP River Region Straw text line chain to give me this information. Okay, you guys had an off weekend as well. I'll let it slide. But I got to know this type stuff.
Not to toot anybody's horn, but your boy here did an NCAA tournament basketball game in Oklahoma City. The next day was spent traveling in time to do 3 baseball games in Hattiesburg. I am on a stretch. I have done 4 games in 4 days, 2 different sports, 2 different states, and I knew that.
He knew it. I mean, come on.
John did not know Scott Cross left to become the head basketball coach at Georgia Tech. John did not know Alabama women's basketball is playing this morning.
Did not know that.
In the NCAA tournament for a chance to go to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1998.
Yeah.
John from Wetumpka, do you want to let him know that Wednesday is Major League Baseball opening day?
I did know that because when I'm driving home yesterday, I'm listening to something and the guy goes, hey, in 3 days, it's the start of the Major League Baseball season. And I went under my breath. I went, oh, can't wait. And then I heard my wife kind of chuckle a little bit after I said that.
Now, there's only one game on Wednesday.
Oh, I heard that too.
And only one game. And John's going to rip this one to shreds. It's Wednesday, Yankees and the Giants from San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
It will be the first ever Major League Baseball game broadcast exclusively on Netflix.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, no other network will show them, so they got to go somewhere.
And Mark, I got 1.4 seconds on that response, which everybody on the face of the planet knew was coming.
When you have a product that does not even register in the top 100 sporting events on television, even
in 2007 or whatever it was when John first saw that. It was in Tebow was playing for
Netflix to get this game on. I can't say I'll be watching it. I thought baseball season started on a Monday. What was this Wednesday?
Well, got a Wednesday game. Again, that's the only game on Wednesday on Netflix. It's at 7:00 on Netflix from San Francisco. But everything else starts the next day, starts on Thursday. So
do they still do it where everybody plays and then they're off the next day and then they play the next day? I've always wondered that about
you've got
baseball.
issues. You've got
they
so
have an
many
off
issues
day.
with baseball.
Second day of the season. Everybody takes the day off.
Almost difficult to keep up with where in the world John's head is at. on all of that.
Before we go to our break, Barry, are we going to get the answer to this, or are they expecting us to look it up?
Let's see. What do we got here?
Question for Longshore
McKnight.
Yeah.
What are the only two programs to have a college football playoff win and an NCAA March Madness men's win? That is from our buddy Hurricane One. That's got to be Miami. Got to be Miami.
Okay, probably is.
Got to be
I'll go with
Miami.
Miami.
Yeah.
Hey, also, Barry, before we let look,
the only name out there that has won a college football playoff game and an NCAA men's basketball tournament second round game and makes the Phantoms daily dog today.
One other thing, obviously it's tough love, but the VIP River Region Straw text line just let me know Bama softball 29-2 and ranked in the top 5.
Why
there
are
we
you
go.
guys
That's
griping
more like
about
it.
Greg Byrne or whining about this, or you've got Piles or the Mange or something? This is the golden era of
That's
Alabama athletics as a whole, not just football.
Yeah.
Stop griping. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Local banking expertise, the newest innovations and technology, personal attention, genuine hospitality. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. They invite you to experience it for yourself. Welcome to banking above and beyond at Riverbank and Trust. Locations throughout the River region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. River Bank and Trust.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Okay, back at it. It is about 9 minutes to the top of the hour. You see it in the green room warming up. It's the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. We do not know what these topics are about. We're seeing it the first time just as you are.
And there's probably, when the topics are announced, we probably still don't know what in the world we're talking about here. All brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22 off I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too.
Yep. Let's do it.
Exchanging words.
Ooh. Oh, I like this.
Oh, yeah. Doncic's great player. He's getting to be Draymond Green-esque in terms of his technicals. Once you get to 16, that's too much. Doncic says, "What did I say? I didn't say anything. This was on Monday." They give him a tech, but then the NFL later rescinds it because after it all, it is the playoffs, and after it all, it is the Lakers, and after it all, it's only the Magic. Yeah, he says
wait a minute.
Frank Zappa there, and I'm not sure exactly what it was, but Frank Zappa says, "Hey, come on. What's the deal here? Can't say that." NFL later says, he didn't really mean it.
Barry, I did not know there was a rule that if you can only have 16 technicals in a season.
It's a relatively new rule, and Draymond Green exceeded it. Anyway. So
I did not know that.
And if I could think of the name of the other guy.
A lot of things I didn't know today.
I would do that. Yeah, okay. All right, so that's one in.
16 10. That seems like a lot in a season.
It is a lot. That's Bobby Cox-esque.
No kidding. Jeez.
Yeah. Expensive meal.
What do we got here?
Aaron Rodgers, who now plays for of course, the Steelers, and Justin Fields, who just got traded to be Mahomes' backup at the Chiefs. They are still costing the Jets $48 million. They have $104 million in total dead money this year, third highest in the NFL behind Auburn. And no, that's coaches. I'm sorry.
That's a good one.
The Jets are spending $104 million on player salaries for players who don't play for the Jets. That's awful.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah.
That ain't what you want. All right.
No.
That's bad. Okay, 4 more to go. Let's see what we got.
You got 4. Therapy llamas? The heck is that? All right, well, let's explore this one. 5th straight. Who's won 5 in a row here? Oh, the Penn State Nittany Lion wrestling team. This is National Championship Week. I think Wisconsin's won their 4th straight women's hockey championship. Wisconsin, the guy in the middle who looks a little bit like Nate Oates, that's Cale Sanderson, who is a wrestling legend. He was an Olympic gold medalist. He was an All-American, I think, at Iowa State. Well, he's the wrestling coach at Penn State, and they are incredible. They have won 5 straight NCAA titles. They've won 13 out of 15. Normally, wrestling was always like Iowa and nobody else under Dan Gable. Heck, I remember interviewing a guy named Swede Umbaugh, who was the Auburn wrestling coach.
Oh, boy.
Auburn used to have a wrestling team many, many years ago.
You're talking about a non-revenue sport. Whoa.
Auburn used to have like a wrestling deal, you know? Where they get old boy from Alpha Gamma Rho, you know, from the ag fraternity out there, take on all comers, something like that.
You think Dennis follows college wrestling?
I don't think he does.
Yeah, I think
I don't think that's why Dennis likes wrestling, is because of the college game. Okay.
All right. 3 more to go. Let's see what we got. Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. Victoryland, where you can be a winner too. And
He does such a good job with this. I love Gurn's work curating the topic wheel. Therapy llamas. Like, you're going to have something offbeat, like a bear in a pool, or, you know, a dog, you know, or a squirrel water skiing or something like that. This is therapy llamas.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, not a paywall. Okay. The Portland airport. Have you've been to Portland? I know.
I have. Yeah. Oh.
They have no, not in 100 million years. That ain't no, and 1,000 times no. That ain't happening with you, boys.
Oh, they are. I don't remember there being so many wacky people in Portland when I was out there, but that was 40 years ago.
This is what they do to be kind of passenger friendly. Because, I mean, you know, I was in the Atlanta airport on Monday all day, and people tend, you know, there tends to be tension.
Yeah.
You get a couple of llamas and cute hats and a funny looking little smock,
I guess.
and people will do crazy things like letting a llama kiss you on the lips. You know, that's not a bad idea. It's just those llamas are, you know, they have to. Is there like a llama stable? Do they have people to clean up after the llamas?
Sure.
I don't know.
How do you know when a llama needs to go outside? So
yeah, do its llama business.
Yeah.
What's that song from? What's that song from? The movie Hangover.
Yep.
That was a tiger song. Yeah, that would have everything to do with llamas. Okay, let's go back to it.
Here we go. 2 more to go. Red and blue are left here on the Victoryland 777 topic wheel. 8-22 off I-85. Shorter, Alabama.
This is glacial play. That means it's slow. That means Bernard Longer. Matt Fitzpatrick, he won Valspar. I don't know who his playing partner is, but John, I know you've said before that is an absolutely just a no-no with you. His partner was Dumont de Chassard.
Hey,
Dumont de Chassard is a 26-year-old from Belgium. Fitzpatrick hit his approach shot to the 11th green first, even though he was closer. And it should have been the honor for Mr. Chassard, but they said he was so slow.
Yeah. Come on.
Chassard,
Tee it up. Let's go.
Don't you hate that? No, John says, while we're young.
It's ready golf. Let's play. Come on.
John said the guy's over there plumb bobbing and throwing grass up in the air. John says, hit it.
Yeah. Let's go.
Be
ready to play.
Right.
Those kind of guys drive me crazy. All right, 1 more to go here on the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. What do we got?
Come back? See, sometimes Gurn Jr. likes to put the little question mark at the end. It's not comeback. Don't call it a comeback. Odell Beckham, who played in that flag football deal, he was on, made a one-handed catch here. Got to check this out. Beckham, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Odell can still play. One-handed catch. That was about the only highlight against the flag football guys. But he was teasing Jackson Dart about coming back to the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
He hadn't been with the Giants for a number of years now, still wants to play. And heck, the Giants are they got no shot.
No shot. No shot.
All right.
Great Victoryland 777
Work.
topic. Will Gurn Jr. puts
Work,
that
man.
together for us and stumps us from time to time. We don't know what these topics are. All right, tomorrow.
Yes.
Ryan Matthews, AuburnSports.com will join us in hour number 1, bottom of the first hour. Travis Ryer on YouTube, Talking Tide. He's got a new edition of Par 3 Driver Guy. I just saw that earlier today. It's good stuff. We'll check in with Travis, and we'll get your chats and your comments as well on our River Region Straw chat line.
Will the Crimson Tide women's basketball team make it to the Sweet 16? You'll find out tomorrow. We'll talk about it. Longshore and McKnight, in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.